like what Starkey does, and we have you guys in Turkey too.
Right.
But we want to know like what is new with you right now. I know you have like a totally new system, and you are just opening a new page to the hearing aid system.
Right.
So can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so I am Achin Bhomik, the Chief Technology Officer with Starkey.
And I'm Dave Fabry, Chief Innovation Officer, also with Starkey.
So the exciting part that is new today is we just unveiled last week world's first multifunction hearing aid. You're familiar with hearing aids, been there for a long time. In fact, we are the largest hearing aid manufacturer in the US. But for the first time, we have embedded new sensors and artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies into our new product, which we call Livio AI, to make it more than a hearing aid. It is our best sounding hearing aid we've ever made, with binaural noise reduction and speech enhancements, technologies like that. But beyond that, because of the sensors we have in there and artificial intelligence, the same hearing aid has functions like fitness tracking, built-in fitness tracker. We're going to show you and elaborate that. The same device is also your in-ear language translator. For the first time, the hearing aid is going to do foreign language translation, any language between 27 languages. Last, the device is also capable of automatically detecting if the wearer falls down, and it will send an alert message to the loved ones. So with that, let me pass it to Dave, and he's going to start by explaining the awesome hearing aid function, and he's going to also show demos of these new features that I just talked about, and we'll interact with it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. First, like Achin said, this hearing aid, this is an app that we use. It's called the Thrive Wellness app that works in companion with the Livio AI devices that I'm wearing right now.
And by the way, yes, I should have mentioned, you can see it's a small device that you barely noticed, right? Both of us are testing it for the last 2-3 months, right?
And so first and foremost, there's a direct connection between the iPhone, in this case the smartphone, and the instruments, so that I can do rudimentary functions, as Achin said, with a state-of-the-art hearing aid to turn the volume up and down. I'm actually changing the volume in both devices. If there are manual programs, I can access those programs directly from the iPhone without the need for intermediate devices. In addition, because in Turkey, like many other markets, a small percentage of the people who have hearing loss actually wear hearing aids because there's a stigma associated with this.
Yes.
We also know with aging individuals, it's very important with hearing loss to remain active physically. We say hear better, live better. And in this case, what we're looking at is we want to ensure, and we track 2 ways. We track physical activity in terms of their body motion. If someone has worn a physical activity tracker like a Fitbit or a device like that, a watch, it tracks the amount of steps that they take on a daily basis. So recorded directly in the hearing aid, this is the substitute for the Fitbit. It knows when you're moving, and we've set a target of 10,000 steps a day. You've seen I've taken nearly 8,000 today. We've also set an activity to say we want people to get up and exercise about 30 minutes a day. That has known health benefits for a variety of conditions, including cardiovascular, where when you have cardiovascular disease, you're at greater risk for hearing loss in the aging population. Then the last one, move. We want people to move around, because if they move, it's good for their joints, it's good for their muscles. So that physical activity they've had in activity trackers device, but never before in a hearing aid. You can leave the phone behind. The hearing aid will track your steps, and then when you come back to the phone, it will automatically record those, and this logs up into Apple Health or Google Fit. And so then the second part that is brand new to the hearing aid industry as well.
And it's actually true to any fitness tracking industry. People always track the physical activities. Now, as Dave is going to show you, we're able to track the brain fitness.
And the reason and the importance for that is within aging individuals, we know that what happens with hearing loss for many people is they begin to withdraw socially. They may suffer depression, they may actually suffer cognitive decline. And so in this case, what we're tracking is 3 elements of what we're calling a brain score. In this, we're looking, are they using the hearing aids? Are they getting the benefit of the amplification that is provided by the professional specific for their loss? The second component, engagement. The hearing aid is actually supplying amplification to your ears, which are really a very sophisticated sensor. Your brain is where you hear. The ears serve as the sensor. What we want to encourage is for people to engage with other human beings on a day-to-day basis. We use very sophisticated machine learning and artificial intelligence to monitor the listening environment and determine, is someone talking to a person with a human voice, or are they merely listening in background noise or in quiet?
And just to emphasize that, just like we humans are able to tell speech from any other sort of sound, our hearing aid with machine learning is able to also determine whether there's a speech component in the sound. And we get a score out of that because we want people to socially engage with other people. And you get a positive score when you talk or listen to human voices.
The third element on the brain side, so we want people to use their hearing aids, we want them to talk to people, and we want them to move around in different and diverse acoustic environments. We don't want them just at home in quiet environments. We want them to take their hearing aids wherever they go, and we want them to go everywhere. At the gym, in the restaurant, at the grocery store. And the more complex those environments are, the better the benefit will be for their brain and for their body. And so we're looking at really then gamifying this, if you will, so that every day they will score between 0 and 200. We're encouraging them to wear their hearing aids more so that they're physically active, that their brain is active, and our mantra is sort of hear better, live better.
So should we switch to showing in-ear language translation?
Yes.
So, and that's
Do you
also...
speak Turkish?
I can help you with that.
Out of the 27 languages, we'll have to see if I can select. So same application here, we have 27 languages here. I'll see if we have Turkish. Yes, we have Turkish. So we are going to try and see. So I have switched from English to Turkish. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, perfect.
And
yes.
And he heard that.
And I heard that in
Turkish.
my
really?
hearing aid. So the way it works, you have two modes. I'll let Dave explain because he does it really well.
That's the difference with this app, first of all, from what you've seen with other translation apps. What Achin said was then translated into Turkish so that he could use it like Babelfish. If he wanted to work on his Turkish, he could then put the Turkish language translation acoustically in his ear to benefit him in his pronunciation, or he could use it receptively so that if he was in a restaurant and he wanted to ask and you were speaking in Turkish, it would be translated into English so he could understand. So you can use it for understanding and for coaching.
That's amazing.
And fall detection, we don't want to show a demo and falling down and hurting ourselves, but that's another the third awesome aspect based on the sensors and AI.
Yeah.
The last part that we would like to tell you that's totally new with the hearing aid. The hearing aids, always you have to control the hearing aid, you have to play with the buttons on the hearing aid. You can see there are small buttons there. Or you needed a remote control or app like we showed you. But with this hearing aid, with the addition of motion sensor in there for the first time, we're able to tap the ear and the device responds. And the way we're using that, here's a use case.
We have a remote microphone similar to the one that we're using here to pick up our voices. If we were in a restaurant and we wanted to have him use that and transmit wirelessly to my ear, let's say we were in a situation where we were having dinner in a noisy environment. This acts as a third ear, if you will, that transmits wirelessly directly to my ear the way this mic does. But then what may happen is if a server comes to take my order for dinner, I might not be able to hear him if he's not close to this mic. I can pause the streaming by simply tapping without having to fumble for the control or do anything, and then take the waiter could take my order, then I tap again, and now it will start streaming his voice again.
One more use case for the same function. We have a device that connects with the TV, and the TV sound streams directly into the hearing aid. So let's say I'm listening to the TV and enjoying the TV program, and the sound is being streamed straight to my hearing aid. But my wife comes in, and I would like to stop the TV so I can talk to her. I can simply tap, and it will stop. I have a conversation, she leaves, I tap, and the TV sound starts again. So that's for the first time a hearing aid that responds to gesture like tap. And that's all totally new. It's all new with Livio AI. The addition of the sensor and AI is doing all these tricks. Best hearing aid we've ever made, but it's also a multifunction device.
And it's really designed with patient benefits in mind to make it convenient for them to track their physical activity. As a baby boomer, I'm concerned with cognitive decline. What we're trying to do is break that stigma associated with hearing loss and hearing aids to motivate people to want to hear better so that they can live more fulfilling lives in their aging years by giving them that tracking feature, the translation feature, this natural user interface to incorporate ease of complexity with technology to break down those barriers so that even people who are not considered technophiles will find this very approachable technology.
Thank you so much for having us. It was great to meet you and great to know, learn right now, what's new. So I hope we can see that Livio AI in Turkey too.
It will be there. We are going to be launching it
well,
internationally.
You have Turkish, so
yes we do.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
Thank you
so
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.